acrobatics. Tail walking, love it. Good morning, everyone. So I'm fishing a local waterfowl impoundment. They use this to they'll close that little lock over there and fill this up. All this will get filled with water over here. But right now they have it open. There's some water flowing. It's not a lot of flow. It is a very, very, very cold morning, considering how warm it's been. It's 37 degrees right now. So the trick today is to find the deeper holes. Right now I just happen to have this jig tied on. So I'm going to throw this one. I'm probably going to change the color a little bit. I think I'm going to go switch to white. Target species today is white bass. It's about the time that they're going to come out and spawn. They come up the creeks here to spawn from the main reservoir. But considering we're having this cold spell, I'd expect them to be in the holes if they're even here yet. They may not have moved up. It might be a little bit too early in the season. More than anything, I want to get these two brats out of the house, let them get all dirty and tired out so they can have their bath and be rested up to start the work week. So we'll see how we do. I'm not crazy optimistic, but I might get a bite or two. White bass, possible a crappie here or there. If not, switch to a very small jig and see if we can catch a few sunfish. But more than anything, this is just trying to get a line wet. Okay, so here's what I'm throwing. I'm throwing one of these Z-Man Slim Swim Z's. They're 2.5-inch paddle tail bait. A lot of action. That Elastec material, so very, very stretchy, very durable. And I'm putting a little bit of threadfin shad Procure on it. A little bit of scent never hurts. And it's all paired up on a 1/16 ounce jig head. Nothing special. Little eagle claw, I believe, laser sharp. I've found these to be really, really good jig heads. I use them fresh and salt water. And just finding deep pockets anywhere where the water's undercut the bank, places like that. Now she just blew up a spot there, so we're gonna not go there. But yeah, we're just gonna keep hitting these little pockets as we move along, just hiking along. They're starting to slow down a little bit, so hopefully get all that energy out. So not a sniff yet. We'll just see how it goes. Here's an area of deep water. You can see how the banks on both sides are cut straight down, and then you have this little bit of current just for a little drainage area. But there's a little change in water. You're gonna have a little deeper hole right here. So just trying to find the deepest holes in the deep holes. It's so cold. The sun's just coming up, so if the fight's gonna pick up, it will pick up within the next hour or two as that sun starts warming up this water. And it doesn't have to warm it up very much, but a little bit makes a huge difference. Kenji's always very optimistic on every cast. He thinks I'm going to catch something. Just using my rod tip to control the depth. If I feel the bottom, I just raise the rod tip a little bit. Just want to keep it just above the bottom. Those fish are going to be hugging the bottom in this cold water, especially this early in the morning. All right, we're coming up on what historically has been one of my favorite holes, but every year it changes, and this year it's been a drastic change. This all used to be a lot deeper right here. There was only one tree across here, or at least the branches. I don't remember being that many. I guess there's a lot of hang-ups caught up in there. We might have to move on from here. There might still be a bit of a hole over there, but yeah, all this is shallow. I could see the bottom without any polarized glasses on. Interesting. But with the rains and in the winter, a lot of trash gets kind of pushed downstream, plus this all floods. Everything kind of shifts around. I remember that tree being laying a little further over that way, so I'm wondering if this all flooded and it just kind of floated over and settled down where it's at. Anyway, caught a good number of fish out of here. It's just changed drastically. We'll give it a shot. Might have to just keep walking up, exploring, and see what this place looks like. Everything's still muddy. We had rain a couple days ago, so getting across everything's been a trek. These two are having a blast. So I switched to a little underspin jig. It's got this weed guard on it. Now this doesn't do a great job of keeping grass off of it, but places like this where there's lots of branches and stuff, oh, you got a 50-50 shot, or otherwise you would not have any chance at all being able to work that through over any snags. But it's chartreuse, which is historically one of my favorite colors. Chartreuse and white are my two favorites. And the trick here is just kind of slowly roll it so it's got a little bit of shimmer with that underspin, and that feather tail can kind of pulsate in the current. You don't want to overfish this. You don't want to fish it too aggressively, especially in this cold water, because nothing natural is going to be moving very fast. So just staying ahead of the current here. I'm feeling the bottom. Cut the slack right through that eddy there. The current is going this way. When it gets around that corner, it makes a natural eddy right in here. So eddies are always a good place to fish. Again, it's still early in the morning and the water's still cold, and I'm not sure it's going to warm up very much. Yeah, this hole is blown out. It's not as deep as it used to be, not even close. Gonna have to move on. We gotta find the deep holes. That's the key today. So as you can see, the sun is up, starting to break through the trees. This is another deep hole I've had some good success. This doesn't look like it's changed very much. That back bank over there should be undercut and fairly deep. Move, both of you. Kiko, move, move. Go, go, go. No. Kiko, no. Okay, not the target species, but a pretty decent sunfish. What do we got here? A little bluegill. This is a female. This is a big female. There we go. What do you think, Kinch? You like it? He just wants to eat it. So they might be bedding. I think it's way early for them to be bedding. I think more than anything, it's just the sun's coming up and things are starting to wake up. But decent little fish. A little smaller than the palm of my hand. Gets the skunk off at least. So all I'm doing is casting across the channel. What I'm doing on my retrieve, I'm just sticking my finger out. So every time the bail comes around, it's making that line bounce. And this feather tail has a lot of action, so when it bounces like that, it just kind of flares out like that. It's just a really pretty presentation. The downside too is you do lose some of the sensitivity, because each time the bail comes around, as you see that rod tip bounce, it feels like a fish bite. So you just have to keep just reeling through it, and the fish will basically hook themselves. Kiko, get out. But this is a nice little technique to adding some action without really getting super aggressive. I don't know how well that comes through on the GoPro, but you can kind of see that tail just kind of kicking. So I was throwing this jig on the back of a beetle spin, and I got a couple of short strikes over there, so I took the beetle spin off. We're just going to fish the jig by itself, just casting back into that corner over there, just where that lay down, get back, and the bank meets. There's kind of a little bit of a deep cut, then there's a little bit of sandbank on this side. So I'm on the other side of that sandbank. I've had 2 hits. Move. Right about there. Actually, that's a good cast. There it is. Well, the battery on the GoPro died on me, but it doesn't matter. I wasn't able to land the fish, but I was able to see it. It was a bluegill. It was a good-sized bluegill. And I'm sure there's more than one back in there, so it's just the same thing. Throwing it up against that bank over there. There's a little nibble. Just have to be careful, because you get so focused as a fisherman on the spot you want to cast to. You got to watch over your head and what's in your casting lane, because I've, a couple times just in excitement, knowing there's fish there, I cast carelessly and get hung up on a branch right here, and I can see the fish right over there. So just be very careful. Know your surroundings. Make sure there's no one behind you, obviously. If you're fishing with dogs, make sure they're not in your casting range because they will get in the way. There he is. There we go. Another nice little bluegill. So it turns into a bluegill day. No big deal, especially if they're this size. These are decent sized bluegill. Oh, he's stuck good right on the top of the mouth where you want to get him with those jigs. There you go. What do you think, Kinch? Kiko's excited. Pretty fish. So what's happening here is you have a lay down, and this has been here for decades because I came here initially years and years ago. It's probably been 15, 16 years. Get back. And that was all the way across, and you used to be able to walk across it and fish the other side. But anyway, what's happening here is the water is getting forced underneath there and is making a little bit of a pocket back here. Anytime you see lay downs like that, that's what's going on. There's a little corner here, and on that side, it's deeper there, and there's a sandbar in between. And what I'm throwing here is a little jig head will catch, a double curly tail will catch anything from bluegill all the way up through bass, white bass, largemouth bass. There's definitely something coming over there. Probably a snake. Snake or a turtle would be my guess. There he is. Another bluegill. Again, another decent sized one. These are not small. These are decent size. They're not monsters by any stretch of the imagination, but usually when you find schools of them, they're half this size. Alright, after losing another jig head, I switched from a double curly tail to a single curly tail. Just going with a smaller profile here. This will tend to get more bites. Well, this looks like a good area. Got a nice bend in the creek. Have a little feeder creek coming out over there, so a little warmer water feeding in here. Some hang-ups over here. Now the problem with these hang-ups and these low hanging branches is you tend to get snagged a lot. But I might make a couple of casts. It looks like the current's ripping through here pretty good, but this deeper edge right here, and there might be a deeper channel or pocket back on that other side. Good areas to target. And then the front end where the water kind of backs up behind the hang-up. This is kind of like a natural dam. It just kind of pushes water back. You can get a little pool behind it. So we'll give it a shot here. There we go. Yeah. There we go. What do we got here? Ah, white bass. Well, no, sorry, white perch. But different species. Take a better look at it. It might be a white bass. No, that's a perch. Little white perch. The bluegill I've caught are bigger, but again, ultralight fishing, pan fishing, that's what you get. Small fish, they're fun, but it's good to know they're there because where there's one, there's probably a couple dozen more. Let's see if we can duplicate that. They're going to be congregated in small pockets. You just got to find the pockets. I have not fished every single pocket simply because there's overhangs and snags, and I didn't bring a ton of jig heads. I just want to spend a couple hours out here. If I was really serious, I would have brought a box of size 1/16 and 1/32 ounce jig heads. Maybe some floats. But I'm just not getting it back there far enough. Kenji, move. I'm trying not to overpower the cast, but at the same time I have to get all the way across here. That's a little better. There's a little nibble. Missed him. Kenji, move. You just have to make the right cast. You have to be in the perfect hole. If you move that hole by miss that hole by too much, you're just not going to get a bite. Kenji, move. That's a little better. I'd like to get maybe 2 or 3 feet further back, but there we go. What do we got here? Another perch. Yeah, like I said, once you find one, you're gonna find more. That's a better cast. Oh, he picked it up right away. I didn't even know he was on it. Oh, that felt like a little better fish, whatever it was. Might be a little better fish. Yeah, it's like a better size. Ooh, this might be a white bass. Fat, whatever it is. No, it's a perch. Fat one though. This is a good size perch right here. That's a good perch. Get it on camera here in just a second. There we go. So there you go. That's a decent perch right there. Look at the gut on him. Look at that gut. It's a fat perch. Alright, tied on a new jig head. Went back to the double curly tail simply because a double curly tail, the body on it is a little bit heftier. Oh, didn't see that branch. Oh, this might be problematic. So I can cast it a little bit further. Just adds a little more body without actually adding more weight. That's a good cast. If that school is there, I'm gonna get a nibble. There's a couple of them. There we go. He's stuck. Oh, this is a better fish. This is a better fish. What is it? Could be a largemouth. Oh no, this might be our target species. Hold on. Hold on. No, it's just a huge perch. Oh no, that's a white bass. White bass. Definitely target species. All right. All right, so I know I've been indecisive about this. That is actually a ginormous white perch. That's a really good sized white perch right there. They're just getting bigger and bigger. That is a good size white perch. That last one I caught with the big belly was a nice one. This is a very big white perch. Yeah? Yeah, that's a good fish right there. Let me get a couple pictures of it. That is actually a very good fish. I know, I'm excited too, baby. Alright, so I just let her go. Let's see if we can find some more. They're getting bigger. That's good. As that sun's coming up, this water temperature will change just slightly, but it doesn't take much to really change their mood. That said, that was the perfect cast I had made previous. That was actually an absolutely perfect cast. It was right up against that other bank in that deep corner. Fairly good cast. Still should go right. I got a couple hits. Like I was about to say, it should still go over that target zone. But this is an excellent example of your target, that strike area can be very, very tiny. That's a good cast, John. I missed them. Those were little. That was a good cast. Let's see if we can duplicate. I think we got the angle down here. Not the best, that's okay. Still getting bit. Still getting nibbles. What I'm doing is on the first nibble I just keep reeling. The second nibble I might reel a little bit more. On the third nibble I'll set the hook. Gives them a chance since they're short strike and actually get it in their mouth. This is where the scent added onto the lure makes a big difference. You'll get these fish that'll nibble at it, and if it just tastes like a piece of plastic, they're not going to go back at it again. But they'll nibble at it and get that taste of threadfin shad in their mouth. They're going to come back for another nibble. That's a great cast. A hit. Oh, that's okay. That was a good cast, and there's still fish in there, and they're still biting. Thing with these perches, and I just learned this last night, is the school will move. They're not going to stay still. That was one little nibble. The school's going to keep moving. Oh. Which way, I don't know, probably upstream. That'll be my guess. So hopefully we can move with them. Kiko, stop. All right, last cast and then we'll move on. Good cast. There we go. All right, maybe we won't move on. This is a smaller one. Oh, sunfish. Barely hooked this one. This is probably what was picking at my lures earlier. Look at those colors, real pretty. Red breast sunfish? Yeah, I think so. Let it go, leave it. Nice sunfish. Tell you what, all the sunfish we caught today have all been really nice size. Those are pretty fish. Ooh, good bite. Leave it. Yellow perch. Nice yellow. This is by far the biggest yellow perch I've ever caught in North Carolina. And where there's one, there's more. That's what you get. See? That was an aggressive bite. Look how pretty these fish are. Look at the colors on that. Isn't that beautiful? What a pretty fish. Beautiful, beautiful fish. So where there's one, there's usually more of those perch. So let's see if we can get ourselves one or two more. That was a very pleasant surprise. I've caught yellow perch out of here before, but not nearly that big. White perch. Alright, well, we're making our way back. That was a whole lot of fun, I'll be honest with you. I was going to fish these pockets on the way back, but I got snagged and had to pop off the jig head. Just didn't feel like retying. I've had a good enough day, I don't need to be greedy. But it was a really good morning. That was a lot of fun. A good 3 hours of fishing right there. I think the dogs had themselves a good time as well, so they're worn out. So we're just going to head on back, call it a day, and enjoy the rest of our Sunday. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I had a blast bringing this to you. This was a really good day. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next fishing adventure.